Just tell me when you're ready. All right, guys, we're going to start talking about the objectives in terms of marketing for Project B for my online class. So what I have written at this point is to create brand awareness and preference. So we're going to take the identity for environment, north, south, east, and west, and then we're going to apply that to a media kit as well as marketing deliverables. The marketing deliverables could include things such as print ads, web ads, social media, TV storyboards, who knows. But we'll come up with a final set of deliverables, and we'll let you know. So what I wanted to do is, we had a couple of questions that I wanted to share with my online class regarding the product itself. And if the online class has other questions, they can always email me or perhaps Beth and get a response on that. But we had three really good questions. One referred to the regimen. And Beth, can you tell me how many times we should use your product each day, or how you see?
I see using the product twice daily.
Twice daily. And another question was, is your product line eco-friendly?
Yes, and I think what we talked about during that was more of the word environment and what that encompasses. So really, I was explaining that I feel that we want to think of the environment as not just where you are right now, but your skin's environment, the conditions that our skin goes through, or how the environment affects us. So whether it's using the brand environment or changing your environment altogether so that you can have that healthy mind, body, soul, spirit, kind of all encompassing environment.
Okay, great. Now we're going to go ahead and move on to the target audience section. We've discussed a little bit about that, but we're going to go back into it. So at this point, we had a fairly broad target audience, and then we had a question that was asked, would we want to narrow it for a main product line and then perhaps have a teen line so we serve a different market segment? So do you want to speak about the target audience and how you see that breakdown?
So we had talked about that as well, and we had said, I'm very willing to jump from 12 to 70 is a very broad number, and then I thought about having some kind of a teen line, more of a, more just to teach kind of hygienic, properties at the beginning, and then kind of taking this customer that would start with the environment young and kind of go all the way through a lifetime, or life kind of is the way that you'd want to bring it, or the way that I see doing this. And I think that when you look at like your main target audience, I think that I would really say somewhere between 20 to 60 is probably more realistic. But, I think we can kind of keep that 12 to 70 in there just to see, because, it's just open for that.
Now, is your product gender specific?
Nope, and it might just have an environment men's line. I mean, today, brand awareness, they're all turning towards, here's a, men's line. And I think the reason that they go down this road is more for the sense that, men don't want to do a whole lot. It's like you guys really, you don't even want to shave if you don't have to, right? It's like, this is too much work, right? So, so it just becomes one of those things. It's like, if I can have one product that just does everything that I actually love, then why wouldn't I use it? I think, girls, ladies, we're in that sense of, well, I like to use all this stuff, and it smells good, and it feels good, and it makes me feel good, and so you kind of get to maybe using a little bit more. But one thing that I've always said in this arena, a lot of times you'll find people that will be launching your product line, and one of the questions that I always kind of direct back to them is, you might think, and here in Savannah, you can look at social economic status is like the Landings being one of our more affluential areas in Savannah. But I've always said, the Landings isn't always your target audience when you're looking for high-end products, because really anyone that is looking for, whether it's anti-aging skincare products or healthy skincare products, that's your target audience. So a lot of times people will think, well, if you're targeting the money, then you're targeting who you're really targeting. But that's not true, because, you know, the waitress that only makes, you know, $8 an hour, but she spends all her money on her skincare because that's what she does, you know, then that's really the target audience. So you've got to always be thinking the bigger picture. What is it? Who are we speaking to? So maybe we do have environment men just because we want to make it real simple. It's just really your simple, you know. But when you're looking to launch a product line, so many SKUs are so expensive. So I'm looking to do this in a budget. So somehow we want to be able to develop this, that it can tier out, that I can develop all these other SKUs. So it's that we start with at least the north, south, east, and west. But yet we still be mindful in the fact that, okay, we're going to go teen. We might go men only. We might, you know, take this for women 40 to 60 or 40 to, you know, 70, whatever. We go anti-aging. You know, so we might break each segment up, but we want to make sure that as we're developing the brand, that we leave it room to grow.
One thing that we may be able to do, because we have so many teams, is once we kind of get a brand, you know, base, then as we go into our second project, Project B, we could assign certain teams marketing for teens, and you could even take the identity and twist it a bit so that you target teens not only with identity, and then we would say, what would we say to teens? How would it look? And then the other people, you know, another team could take the men's market, and then the other team could take, you know, different segmentation. Do you guys think that would be fun? Mm-hmm. I think that would be a good challenge, and it would give us a lot to look at and to think about.
Yeah.
And we would learn from each other. So let's see. Other than that, we are going to be looking for creative copywriting. So any suggestions, I think we're open to them, and that includes a brand tagline, as well as you know, those ad campaign themes that we see and hear as we're watching and or viewing messages from brands. One of the things that we had discussed is you had the quote, maybe mind, body, soul, spirit. That could be used. And then I know this was mine. I don't know whether it was that great or not. It's a little bit wordy, but I had, you can't change your environment, but environment can change you. And then another one, face your environment. So do you want to say anything about that, or just that you're open to?
I'm just open, and when I started putting this together, that kind of like, you know, I started with just one face cream thought, and literally that was where the face your environment, you know, or how can I face my environment? Put on, you know, a good face for your environment or something, you know. But nope, I want you guys to be creative.
Okay, so there's a few other things about the target audience that I want us to cover quickly. Price point.
Price point is a real, we're looking to do this mid-range, but when you look at organic products, they're expensive. There's no room to move. If you're looking for product, you know, packaging that's eco-friendly, it's expensive. So it really, by looking into this segment, I'm trying to keep this as a price point somewhere between $20 to $80. My highest cream, whatever. And yet, at the same time, what you really want to know is I'm looking to give you, what I want to say, a 45 to 60 day worth of your product. So you're going to look at packaging sizes somewhere at least for like a jar of cream, a 1.5 ounce to 2 ounces of product is going to give you 45 to 60 days, using it twice a day. Your cleanser, you're going to want somewhere about 6 to 8 ounces.
Where do you see your products being sold or distributed?
Really, I think health food stores, as well as Sephora's, Ulta's, online, you know, and obviously to start, it would just launch that way as an online brand, and then kind of grow from there.
think we've really spoken a bit as to most of your target audience will have some familiarity with these type of products. So do you want to say anything about that?
Well, you want to, obviously, what's unique about it is there's not anything region specific out there in the marketplace. That's what makes this product different. But there might be something that you guys find that I haven't found yet. So they might, there might be something that's a little more regional. But just be creative with that side of it.
Okay. And now we've already said, as far as a brand, you see yourself as a worldwide, universal brand. It's not specific to the United States as far as your market. You would love people from all over the world to purchase your product.
Yes.
And for a target audience's motivation, we spoke to that a bit, but really, I think you said that these are products for those that are looking for a healthy environment, quality, eco-friendly products. And then, do you want to say anything about scent? And that's probably a project description.
I'm pretty much open for you guys to be thinking like that. I do have some sense in mind, but yet, when you think of, the South is probably the easiest one to talk about. So when you think about the South, you'll find sweet tea or magnolia or,
Gardenia.
yeah, you can definitely, or jasmine, anything like that. But a lot of that's real sweet smelling, So I don't know. And if you really do any kind of research on fragrances, you've got your muskies, your woodies, your florals, your citruses. So you want to kind of be thoughtful as to what you're combining those. It's like maybe it's some kind of crazy basil jasmine. I mean, okay, I don't know, but just be thinking like that. And it doesn't necessarily have to be, I mean, you might pick something like that, like basil jasmine, and I'm like, really, that would stink, It's like, I could get a fragrance house to make me anything like that. It would smell really weird. But be creative, it's okay. And if you want to find a good way to research kind of fragrances, you can do essential oils. Look at essential oils and look at blends of essential oils, because they kind of target that and mix and match. You can also, I think essential oils would be the best way to look at that. Not all that knowledge.
Yeah, we could certainly come up with suggestions, but since we don't understand, the chemistry and how everything works, we're really going to be relying on you to tell us, what the scents may be, and just kind of give us an idea of what you think in the best of all worlds it would be. But I think it's suffice to say, scent is important with this product, right?
Yes. Yep. And we'll see where we go with that. I'll be researching, to give you some more information. But I'd just like to hear your ideas, because you guys, you're out there, you're using some products, you're using things that you like the smells of, and it gives you a different. Just to hear your opinion could really shift the whole way that the whole brand goes. So.
All right, guys, while the tape is still rolling, I think we can cover the next 3 sections very quickly, because we've already answered these questions. When we think about product description, we already have that. We videotaped that. And then customer user benefits, I think Beth also has been speaking to that. I don't know if anybody has a specific question there. And then support for benefit claims. Because this is a new product, it has not been tested by independent labs or independent organizations that will attest to its properties and how good it is, etc., whatever, user testing. So we're going to skip support for benefit claims. That's something that would come later after it's out in the marketplace and then it's being tested, and then we can, if they say, this is great, it's the #1 rated product ever, you know, in the world, then that's something that we would start using immediately in the marketing, because it's going to create preference. Because not only are going to be people will be impressed by the way it works on their skin, and what you're saying in your marketing that you know, kind of, it's a touch point that gets them the trigger, if you will, to purchase the product, but also I lost my train of thought. But where was I going with that? Help me out. We don't know where you customer, the support for benefits claims. So I was just going to say, once we have that in hand, I know what I was going to say, is a lot of times decisions are made based on what other people are saying about the product. I know I'm greatly influenced by reviews of products, and you guys may be as well. So if the restaurant is Zagat surveyed and they have all these stars, I'm probably going to think it's good whether I actually go there and like it or not. You know, I'm going to try it, which is important. Okay, let's cut that